going to be sharing with you in this video how to create your reality from a space of observation. How to create from a space of observation. How to become a creator by becoming an observer. Because when you can become an observer, you're going to be able to use your creative energies in a way that you weren't previously able to do before, because there wasn't the capacity in the space to do so. And there was also perhaps a lack of awareness on how quickly your thoughts do manifest and how the being of your experience does instantly shift to whatever it is that you're thinking about. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to direct your life energies in the direction that you prefer to see them, not the direction that somebody else wants to see happen for you, and then learn how to manifest your reality from that space of what you could call neutrality and observation, to then see it manifest into your existence in a very powerful way. So how to create from a space of observation, how to become a creator by becoming an observer. If you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell, because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally to manifest what you really want in the most effortless and easeful way possible, hit the link that's in the description box of this video. Now, number one, the first thing you got to understand in terms of how to become a creator by becoming an observer, how to create from a space of observation, is to see that every thought manifests. This reality is actually thoughts. Thoughts are imagination, and it's happening within what you could call nothingness. You could call it nothingness, but of course it's everythingness. So don't let that create fear in you. Nothing is everything. We'll save that for another time though. But the truth is that everything is imagination, and it's happening within this quantum field of consciousness where everything exists. And so the key is to see that every single thought that you're thinking manifests. It's just that, are you directing your thoughts in the direction that you want? Are you even conscious of your thinking? You know, when you're having a situation that you're not resonating with, are you conscious of your thought process in that moment? Because whether you realize it or not, you're choosing to give that situation energy, you're choosing to give that vibration energy, not saying it's good or bad. There's no such thing as good or bad, it just is. Everything just isness. Isness is the truth of existence. The truth of existence is what is the case. What is the case is what is happening in this present moment. But it doesn't mean that what's happening in this present moment is all there is, in the sense that there's not infinitely more, but you're shifting into, in this present moment, what you previously intended for. So any thought that you thought previous, maybe at a previous time, even though time doesn't exist, but from a relative level, you looked at from a long time ago, you maybe set an intention, right? What's happening is that while you're thinking those thoughts, they manifest at the being level instantly. They're instantly starting to shift into the being level. Now, whether it's you're at your being and experiencing something that you set an intention for a long time ago, and it's like a bigger manifestation, which now you're reaping the rewards for. Also, you can start to notice that every thought that you think starts to come into the being. It starts to come at the being level almost instantaneously and simultaneously, because the creation and the observation are actually one energy. Okay, the creation and the observation are not separate things really. It's one energy, and it's just, are you consciously choosing from a space of love, or are you choosing from a space of fear? That's the question you want to be asking yourself. But nonetheless though, just keep in mind that every thought manifests, whether wanted or unwanted. So when you're actually giving energy to something that you don't want, that's a conscious choice that you're making. And if that person's also shifting their energy to you and they don't want, then also what's happening is that you're both making that choice, whether consciously or unconsciously, to come together and give away your power. And you have that power to shift your intention. People talk about the greatest currency in this universe being attention, for a good reason. Because once you master your attention, then you can shift your attention only to the aspect of reality that you prefer to see, not what you don't prefer to see. And this is not coming from ego, because in fact, consciousness wants everything to be experienced unconditionally from a space of love. And that doesn't mean that you don't get what you want. It means you get exactly what you want from where you are right now. And where you are right now, you manifested that too. Now there's going to be debatable conversations like, oh well, I didn't manifest this, I didn't mean to manifest this. But some things are out of your control. That's just the way life is, and we can all agree on that. I mean, personally, you don't have to agree with that, but that's what I think. Like, some things are not within your control, but some things are within your control. And it's not about controlling the outside world, it's about controlling your life energies and seeing that every thought manifests. Okay, and you decide where that energy flows. Number two, you don't need to know how. You don't need to know how, okay? Because this is where people get hung up on when they're manifesting. They think a certain thought, and then on the way to that, which by the way, the universe is instantly working in your favor right away. If you don't have any resistance in your body, your thoughts instantly are manifesting, even if it doesn't seem like it is, because your ego can get in the way and say, oh, well, this shouldn't be happening in this way. Why am I losing my job? Why? You got to realize that when you decide on a new reality, things may fall away that you are scared to let go of. But then if you assign some negative meaning to that, and you're going to say like, oh my gosh, like this shouldn't be happening. Why is this happening? And then you say, oh, but I need to become more logical now and make sure that this thing doesn't happen so that I can avoid that situation. And then what you're doing is you're manifesting fear. And that's predicated upon the idea that you need to know how your manifestation is unfolding. The key is to set that intention, become grateful for what you want, or just decide that it is going to be your experience, because that is how powerful you are. You can simply decide that something is going to be your experience, and then instantly you start to shift into it, and you don't need to know how it's happening or what the process is. You just have to stay in that space of non-resistance, still take action. It's very important to take action. This doesn't mean that you just sit around, but maybe although it could be, it doesn't really matter what it is. It's different for each person, but it's about the energetic frequency that you're coming from, and are you embodying who you truly want to be? And that's not a how. That's not how. Like, it just isness. It just is what it is. I'm going to give you a quick little exercise so that I can emphasize this. If you right now become conscious of your shoulders, okay? Become conscious of your shoulders. For example, I know it's silly, but it's a powerful example. If you notice your shoulders and maybe any tension that's in your shoulders, and you relax your shoulders, just ease your shoulders a little bit, right? And then it's like, okay, cool, I'm following you, Francis. You ease your shoulders, and then you relax your shoulders. Imagine if I said to you, how did you do that? How did you ease your shoulders? And you think to yourself, you're like, I don't know, I just did it. I don't know how I did it, Francis. I just did it. So think about this. This is really powerful. I said to you, hey, your shoulders are tense. And then, or let's just say, for example, and then you in your mind said, oh, my shoulders are tense. Maybe I should release the tension in my shoulders. That's a thought, that's an intention. And then immediately at the being level, your shoulders started to just release, simply because you made that conscious choice. Now, how did you do that? This might sound simple. It's like, Francis, come on, man. No, take this in. I want you to sit with this. How did you do that? How did you release the tension in your shoulders? What was the logical process that you took to release the tension in your shoulders? Was it even a logical process? My claim is that it was not a logical process. You simply allowed it to happen at the being level. And similarly, when you're thinking a thought, maybe something you want to manifest that you're grateful for, and you can shift into that vibration of gratitude for what you want to experience, or maybe you just simply decide that something is going to be the case, and then instantly there's no how-tos. It's your own personal journey of the all that is manifesting into the way that it personally, quote unquote, should be manifesting for you. But when I say should, I mean how you personally want it to be manifested. And this is not a how to, this is a simply making a choice on what you prefer to be, and then you simply allow that to happen. And this is the key to really manifesting your reality in the most powerful way, because you start to realize that, okay, I can simply decide to be what I want to be and then become it. And this is almost where reality starts to become more fairy tale-like and like a dream, where you can simply choose to be who you want to be in this moment. This is so powerful. This is one of the most powerful things. So the thing that I want to highlight here before I move on to the next point is just remember, as you're manifesting, never get attached to the how. The how is not important. The key is to stay in the vibration of trust and continually only act upon the intentions that you feel are in alignment with your highest vision and what's important to you. Don't get attached to the how. Just balance those masculine and feminine energies. And number three, this is where I think a lot of people get hung up on, is yes, you're a creator, but to create from a space of observation means that you don't need to force anything. You can let the process of life unfold, because the ego thinks that, oh, I need to be creating my reality in this one particular way. And it's not to say that you shouldn't have boundaries and to let go of everything that's not in alignment with your highest vision, but even this is something that can naturally unfold as well. So when I talk about natural unfolding, it's like people think like, oh, I need to just let my energies be all over the place and let people control me. No, it's like I have very strong boundaries. I have very strong boundaries with what I let into my energy field, who I talk to. There's a select few people in my life that are important to me and who I give my energy to on a consistent basis, because they're in alignment with my highest vision. I care about them and they care about me. If you're not helping me to create what I want, and it's not a mutually beneficial, energetically reciprocal relationship, the truth is that you're a distraction and I'm not going to be feeding into that kind of energy. Now you can see that that's a mentality where it's like, okay, well, he has firm boundaries and you can sense that. But even this, for example, the reason I'm bringing this up is something that can also be a natural unfolding, which brings me to point number 3, which is you can receive thoughts and let them drop in at the being level. But the key is to see that you can simply receive the thoughts that are in alignment with your highest reality. You don't need to force which thoughts come in. The thoughts simply come in, and then you can continually give those thoughts energy and then shift back into the being and allow those thoughts to drop in. That's how reality works. You're dropping in the thoughts that you prefer to experience. You're bringing them in at the being. This is where some people call it, you're grounding heaven in onto earth. That's what this reality is. You're grounding heaven on earth. Literally, that's what's happening. And you can do this simply by allowing yourself to receive the thoughts that you prefer. And then if you receive any thoughts that you do not prefer to experience, you simply do not have to give those energy and you can simply let them go. This is a good sign of spiritual progress, by the way, when you're able to not only be not resistant to the present moment, but to fully take control of your mind, in the sense that you let unconditional love play out in the most beautiful way for all possible beings. Because what you choose and resonate with, there's going to be another person or situation or a thing that also has that same vibrational frequency and desire, and then you both can come together and co-create very powerfully. But it's about being conscious that you don't need to force this creation process. You can let it unfold. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have power to choose. It just means that you're choosing from a space of unconditional love, and you're not forcing what you truly want. You're tuning into your heart. You're tuning into your true desire. What do I truly want? And you're giving that more energy, because you realize that also at this point that when you're becoming a creator from a space of being an observer, that everything that you want to experience is the universe's desire. So what you want is God's will flowing through you, if you want to say it in that way. I don't quite like to use the word God a lot because there's a lot of negative connotation to that word. But what you can do is see that it is in a way kind of God's will, or a better word that might be beneficial for some people if they don't really resonate with that word, although it is pretty much the same thing. Like you could say the universe, you could say God, or you could say it's the universe wanting something through you, not from a space of ego, but from a space of wanting to experience everything that can possibly be experienced in consciousness, not only from a space of unresistance, but unconditionally loving that experience to the highest possible degree, using your thought and your intention energies to amplify only what you prefer to experience. And basically the last claim that I wanted to make here is that you don't need to force this, because you can simply just receive those thoughts. You can just receive, you can let the divine consciousness flow through you like a vessel, and then you're basically, what I'm saying here, in other words, is that you're just basically manifesting the most epic story of all time, and reality becomes a fairy tale. That's what I'm saying here. That's pretty much a better way to say what I wanted to say, is that basically the conclusion here, guys, is that you're manifesting an epic reality that is so awesome that it starts to become dreamlike and it starts to become a fairy tale, and you're the one controlling all of it. But at the same time, though, it's not you, and it's the universe's desire working through you, and you can still make choices from that space for the experience of experiencing all that is, okay? And with that, I conclude this video. If you hit that like button for me, that'd be greatly appreciated because it does help the algorithm grow, and I do grow the channel. And I do believe that every single person does deserve to know that they are the creators of their reality and that they can do so and manifest their reality in the most effortless and easeful way possible. Also, once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next